You know, in the world of personal development, some books just have a way of sticking around. And Shad Helmstetter's What to Say When You Talk to Yourself is definitely one of those timeless classics. So let's dive right in and explore how that little voice inside our head might just be the most powerful tool we have. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with the fundamental power of self-talk itself. Then we'll get into Helmstetter's absolutely brilliant 5 levels framework. After that, we'll touch on the science of how this stuff actually rewires your brain, lay out a super practical guide to get you started, talk about some common challenges you might face, and wrap it all up with the amazing idea that you are the author of your own mind. So we all do it, right? We all have that constant internal chatter going on. Sometimes it's a whisper of doubt, other times it's a little cheer of encouragement. But what if that voice isn't just, background noise? What if it's something much, much more powerful? Well, this is the core argument Helmstetter makes. He says that our self-talk isn't just some random thing. It is the code we use to program our own minds. I mean, think about that for a second. It's literally the software that runs our lives. See, from the moment we're born, we're basically downloading these scripts from everyone around us, our parents, our teachers, our friends, and these scripts form our beliefs and our habits. But here's the catch. A lot of that programming is negative. It's filled with, you can't do that, or you're not good enough. But Helmstetter's big, incredible idea is that we don't have to be stuck with this old, outdated software. We can consciously choose to rewrite it. And this is where things get really practical. Helmstetter doesn't just leave us hanging. He gives us a roadmap, a way to figure out where our self-talk is right now and how to level up. He calls it the 5 levels of self-talk. And honestly, it's a total game changer because it gives you a tangible way to measure and improve that internal conversation. First up, we've got level 1, negative acceptance. This is the most damaging level. It's the language of I can't. It's when we state a negative belief as if it's an absolute, unchangeable fact. This is the voice of pure resignation, and it's what keeps us completely and totally stuck. Next, we move up to level 2, recognition and the need to change. This is the I should level. And look, it's a step up because there's at least an awareness that something needs to change. But it's still passive. It's full of good intentions, but it really lacks that commitment, which often just leads to guilt and procrastination instead of any real action. Okay, now we get to the real turning point, level 3, the decision to change. This is where the language gets active. I no longer or I never. These are powerful declarations. This isn't about wanting to change. It's about making a decision that you are changing right now. This is where you start to actively reject all that old negative programming. And this brings us to the most powerful level for personal transformation, level 4, the better you. The language here is simply I am. This is the language of your identity. By stating who you are in the present tense, I am confident. I am disciplined. You are literally installing a new identity right into your subconscious. When you repeat these, they don't just feel good, they actually start to become your new reality. And finally, we reach the peak, level 5, universal affirmation. This is the it is level. What it does is connect your personal identity to a broader universal truth. So it's not just I am successful, but it is like me to succeed. This creates this deep sense of alignment, a feeling that your success isn't some struggle, but a natural, inevitable part of who you are. Now, this all might sound really great in theory, but you might be sitting there wondering, does this stuff actually work? Well, the answer from modern neuroscience is a huge, resounding yes. Honestly, Helmstetter was way ahead of his time, and science is now totally caught up to his ideas. It all comes down to this incredible concept called neuroplasticity. The big idea here is that your brain isn't this fixed, static organ. It's constantly changing and adapting based on your thoughts and your experiences. So every single time you repeat a negative thought, you're just making that neural pathway for negativity stronger. But, and this is the exciting part, the reverse is also true. When you consistently practice positive self-talk, you are physically building new pathways for confidence and success. And here's the crucial point to understand. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. That's exactly why affirmations are so effective. They're like a mental rehearsal that convinces your brain that this new, positive reality is already true. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get down to the how. Helmstetter provides a really simple, practical blueprint for putting all of this into action. Okay, first, it all starts with awareness. You have to identify your old negative scripts. What are the things you say to yourself when you mess up? Write them down. Second, you have to consciously write new, empowering scripts to replace them. Third, and this is a key tip from the book, record them and listen to them daily. This helps bypass your conscious mind's resistance. Fourth, you gotta repeat, repeat, repeat. And finally, number 5, make sure you engage your emotions. Say them with real feeling. Here is a perfect example of what that looks like in practice. You take a common negative script like, ugh, I'm always late, and you transform it into a powerful, present tense, level 4 statement. I am punctual and manage my time well. It's such a simple switch, but believe me, it changes everything. And a beauty of this whole method is that you can apply it to literally any area of your life that you want to improve, from your health and your career to your relationships and finances. You just create the specific self-talk that aligns with the person you truly want to become in that area. Now, as simple as this all sounds, it's not always easy. There are a few common roadblocks that people tend to hit when they first start out, but the good news is they are totally avoidable. First off, skepticism. Your new affirmations might feel really fake or even silly at first. That's perfectly normal. Your brain is just so used to the old programming. The key is to just keep going. Second is inconsistency. You have to treat this like a habit, and it needs daily practice. And third, a lack of emotion. Don't just read your affirmations like a robot. You have to feel them. Speak them with conviction. So when you boil it all down, what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that what to say when you talk to yourself is so much more than just another self-help book. It's really a call to action. It's an invitation to take back the pen and become the author of your own story, starting with the one you tell yourself every single day. Helmstetter's core message is just one of pure empowerment. You are not stuck with the programming you are given. You have the power to rewrite it. You know, in a world that is constantly shouting opinions and distractions at us, this is such a powerful reminder that the most important voice we will ever hear is our own. So what story are you telling yourself? Because when that voice becomes your biggest cheerleader, there's absolutely no limit to what you can achieve.